So I grew up and I was always a huge boxing fan. Back when I was young in my teens, uh, I used to watch a lot of Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, John the Beast Mugabe. Uh, Big time fan of all of those fights back then. And so I'm curious about what ChatGPT is going to say who the GOAT is for the middleweight sort of divisions, and I thought now there's a lot of different people you could put on that list, but I thought I'd start maybe perhaps with what it thinks about Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Robinson. So you got somebody from a fairly recent generation, and then somebody that a lot of people probably don't even know about, who's absolutely, they say, the pound for pound greatest boxer in history. That a lot of people don't know about is Sugar Ray Robinson. So just a little background on him, you can see that Hagler reigned as the undisputed champion of the middleweight division from 1980 to 1987, making 12 successful title defenses, all but one by knockout. Hagler holds the highest knockout percentage of all undisputed middleweight champions at 78%. He holds the record for the sixth longest reign as champion in the middleweight division. Again, middleweight division, boxing record, 67 fights, 62 wins, 52 by KO, 3 losses, 2 draws. And of course he was fighting in an era where there was just unbelievable competition with Sugar Ray Leonard and John the Beast Mugabe, Tommy Hearns. That Tommy Hearns Hagler fight, that famous one where those first 3 rounds are considered the 3 greatest rounds in boxing history. Just a slugfest for 3 3-minute rounds. It's like just an incredible video to watch on YouTube. So he was fighting in the 80s, and you got Sugar Ray Robinson over here. Competed from 1940 to 1965, and you think about how different back then was the training and the conditioning, the strategy. That's 20, 30, 40 years earlier, and we see those differences sometimes in the athleticism in other sports. He is often regarded as the greatest boxer of all time, pound for pound, as ranked by Box Record. So I watch a lot of videos on YouTube of where they these GOAT discussions, right? And you hear Ali a lot, you hear Tyson a lot, but how often do you hear about Sugar Ray Robinson except among real boxing fans? Weights: lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, and lightweight. Right? You got Tommy Hearns. Boxing record: 201 fights, 171 wins, 101 by KO, 19 losses, 6 draws, 2 no contests. You got Ring Magazine's historian Bert Sugar ranked Robinson as the greatest fighter of all time in 2002. So I was asking Chat some questions the other day using the audio mode, where it just you speak to it and it speaks back to you. But the text mode has actually got a lot of information that I don't think it shares when you do the audio response. So I'm just going to ask it here with text, and I'm going to just get the text back instead of the audio back. So here we go. Who would win a 12-round boxing match, both in their prime, between Sugar Ray Robinson and Marvin Hagler? Isn't that amazing how fast it gets back to you? A 12-round boxing match in their primes between Sugar Ray Robinson and marvelous Marvin Hagler would be one of the greatest hypothetical matchups in boxing history. Wow, I had no idea that it would respond that way. I didn't want to do this before the video. I just wanted to be surprised. Pitting the greatest pound-for-pound boxer ever against arguably the greatest middleweight of all time. We got the stats here: 5'11" for Sugar Ray height, 5'9.5" for Hagler. But anybody who's studied boxing knows that height isn't, like Tyson used to talk about, it's not a big deal. The reach, look at Hagler. He's got 3 inches on the reach, even though he's an inch and a half shorter. You got the prime weights, which I wanted to get people that were close to the same weight class. They had competed in the same weight class. Then we got the styles. Hagler was a southpaw, relentless, durable. I heard a story once. I haven't researched it in years. Maybe I'm wrong, but somebody was mentioning something about Marvin's forehead, being thicker, like maybe the bones were thicker, and he could just take shots. I'd have to look that up to see if it was a rumor or not. But I swore that somebody found that he had something physically in his head that made him more durable to punches. Sugar Ray Robinson's slick, mobile, versatile, devastating combinations versus bludgeoning power. Chin, great. Marvin Hagler, granite. Prime years, obviously different eras. How they'd match up. Sugar Ray Robinson, unmatched fluidity, timing, and boxing IQ. Devastating in flurries and capable. I have a thought as to, obviously, and maybe you do already, who's going to come out ahead on this, but I just don't know. And and I don't know what would happen if I threw this into Google Gemini or I asked it to ChatGPT slightly differently. How would Grok do? How would all these other different Claude, all these other AI tools, would they give us a different answer? It'd be interesting to find out. Beat Jake LaMotta, a pressure fighter like Hagler, multiple times. That's interesting. Fought across multiple weight classes, but at middle class wasn't quite as dominant as he was at welterweight. Now that's interesting. Marvin Hagler walked through bombs and kept coming forward. That's what I'm talking about. With his chin and his forehead. Southpaw stance, switch hitting, could throw off timing, had a legendary chin, never truly knocked out, could neutralize flashy boxers with intelligent pressure. See the one with Tommy Hearns in the close fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. Fight breakdown, early rounds. This is what it wasn't doing with the audio response when it was talking to me. Early rounds, 1-4. Robinson would likely control the distance and pace using footwork, jabs, and combinations to pile up points. Middle rounds, Hagler would ramp up the pressure, cut off the ring, and start landing more meaningful shots to the body and the head. Late rounds, if Robinson tires or stands in front too long, Hagler could punish him, but Robinson's conditioning and ring IQ might allow him to steal a couple late rounds. Verdict, prime versus prime, 12 rounds. Split decision victory for Sugar Ray Robinson. 115 to 113, 114 to 114 split decision, and 116, 112. In a classic clash of styles, Robinson's versatility, hand speed, and footwork give him just enough of an edge over Hagler on the scorecards, but it would be brutal and close. Hagler's relentless pressure and chin ensure it goes the distance, and there's a strong argument he could wear Ray down and take it, especially over 15 rounds. Alternate takes over 15 rounds, Hagler's durability and pressure could turn the tide and favor him more. If judging favors aggression, Hagler might get the nod. If speed and generally are more valuable. So, that's interesting that that the longer this goes, they're giving it to Hagler. What was the standard number of rounds for middleweight fights, boxing matches in what are we going to pick here? The 19. Let's go somewhere in the middle for the 1970s. Somewhere a little bit, somewhat in the middle between their eras. 15 rounds. So this all changes where it's at 15 rounds. Who would you then pick as the likely winner in a 15-round fight between these two? In their primes, final verdict, Marvin Hagler. So there we go. We had an analysis for 12 rounds, slight edge to Sugar Ray Robinson, but the longer the fight goes, you got it going to Marvin Hagler. So I don't know. I can't. I'm not. I don't disagree with this. Let me know if you've got any thoughts on it. So I decided to quickly pull up you look for a fight out here, and this YouTube short came up with Sugar Ray Robinson versus Jake LaMotta, and if you watch this in a second, it looks like that Sugar Ray Robinson's doing a rope-a-dope. It almost looked like a little bit of Ali rope-a-dope. So here's LaMotta coming at Sugar Ray Robinson, and watch Robinson. He's just doing the Ali rope-a-dope there in the corner. LaMotta's just throwing a flurry like Foreman did. And then look at him. He's going to come back. That's Ali and Foreman. Look at that. Robinson's coming back. Somebody's going down here. Or it could be points. It's a great fight. What a fight. And that's the end of the round. Anyways, I'm out of here. This is a 1957 fight that's been colorized with Sugar Ray Robinson. So if you love boxing and you don't know him that much, watch some of these fights. Comment if you want.